This is the Daily Mirror Kind of Britain Awards. These days, we're all so wrapped up in our own lives and our own problems that it's easy to ignore strangers, even if that stranger might be in distress. Luckily, Neil Laybourn chose not to walk on by.
What do you think is the biggest killer of men under 50 in Britain?
Cancer.
Heart disease.
Dying on the road.
It's none of these.
It's suicide.
Last year alone, more than 4,000 men took their own life.
On a freezing cold January morning, one man decided his life was no longer worth living.
It could have been your brother, your son, your husband.
Could have been you.
It could have been me.
But that day, it wasn't me.
It was a 20-year-old man called Jonny Benjamin.
I began to suffer quite badly from depression, and I suppose I had a bit of a breakdown.
Jonny was diagnosed with a schizophrenic disorder.
I just thought that my life was essentially over. Kind of the best thing to do for myself and for my family and my friends was to end my life.
Jonny made a decision. He'd travel into central London and jump to his death from Waterloo Bridge.
It was rush hour, but I was just in my own little world looking for the right moment to climb over the edge.
12,000 people cross Waterloo Bridge every day. That day, one of them was Neil Laybourn.
I got off the train at Waterloo Station and, like any other day, start my walk towards the West End. I saw somebody just sitting on the side of the bridge. Alarm bells rang straight away. I felt a huge responsibility to take care of the situation.
Suddenly, out of nowhere, this person to the side of me just started talking to me.
I was asking him where he was from and why he was there. Saying the wrong thing could have put him at risk.
He kept on saying those words. You'll get through it, you know, you can overcome this. He'd given me that opportunity to talk and the opportunity for someone to listen to me.
It was looking like it was starting to work.
Just me talking and Neil listening, I realised that there was another way.
Jonny climbed down from the railings and was led to safety.
What Neil did that day was so simple, but it saved my life.
Since then, Jonny's been able to manage his condition through therapy. He now works for a mental health charity helping to raise awareness. And earlier this year, he had some unfinished business.
I always wanted to just see him again and just say thank you. So I launched a campaign to find him, although I called him Mike.
Mike is the name that Jonny gave to a stranger who talked him out of committing suicide.
Jonny's search made headlines around the world.
I just want to give him a hug and just say how grateful I am.
And after just 2 weeks, he and Neil were reunited.
It's been amazing getting to know him and becoming his friend.
13 men kill themselves every day in Britain. That day, because of Neil, it was one fewer. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Please welcome our Good Samaritan, Neil Laybourn. Why do you think everybody else walked on by and you didn't? You stopped?
I think the problem with me is I'll just speak to anybody. My wife will tell you. But on that day, I just saw people walking by and I just thought, you know, if there's one thing that I can say that could make a difference to that gentleman, it would be worth having a go rather than reading about it in the paper and realising that, you know, I would regret that day, possibly for the rest of my life.
And obviously the night would not be complete without welcoming Mr. Jonny Benjamin. Great to see you, Jonny.
Thank you. Thank
it
you.
really is.
Thank you. I mean, he doesn't realise quite what he's done, and I don't think he'll ever realise the impact of what he did that day. And I'm just so glad that, you know, he can see, hopefully, just some of the effect that he's had, not just on me, but on all the people that, you know, he's touched through doing this. I felt such shame and I felt so embarrassed going to the bridge that day and not wanting to live anymore. But there's no shame, and that is the message that we're trying to get across, that, you know, there's no shame and it can get better. You can overcome anything.
Wow, it's wonderful to see you.
Thank you.
To present your award, Neil, we have an actor and a very famous comedian who understands just how important a helping hand can be when you're in a very dark place. It's Mr. Russell Brand.
Oh, bless you, well, I'm very honoured, mate, to give you this, and I'm very grateful, well, because I'm a person who could very easily have been sat on that bridge. Well done for being the one person that stopped. And I'm glad that the pair of you have had the opportunity to become friends. Johnny, don't wind him up and make him regret it, will you? You've got to keep him on side now.
I know.
Well, a wonderful example of friendship and basic humanity. Thank you very much, the pair of you. Thank you. Well done.
Thank you, Russell.
Thank you.
And congratulations to our Good Samaritan, Neil Laybourn.